So let's go prot. I haven't seen the prot tree just yet as well. Let's have a little bit of a theory crafting session with it. Oh, hold up. Oh, okay. Prot starts from lay on hands instead of freedom. So I thought prot was gonna be starting from freedom. So holy will always start from freedom then. Ah, shit. Okay, well you can't pass. You can't pass on freedom then, so you will always have freedom. I was thinking maybe you could pass on freedom. So your choice here is going to be pass on lay on hands, which you will not do so. Okay, we'll see. We'll think about that later. Let's just go to check out the prod one first. Right, so you start picking Avengers Shield. It's no longer generating any holy power, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Divine Toll still here. It's going to be, oh my god, it's back! The Eye of Tyr. Oh, this used to be in Legion, okay. Alright. So, let's see. You pick either Redoubt. Shield of the Righteous increases your strength and stamina by 2% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3. Depending on what they are going for. So the idea is Shield of the Righteous won't be giving any holy power. Or rather, Avengers Shield, sorry. And therefore, your uptime on Shield of the Righteous is going to be lower. So you're also going to be using it less often. Therefore, the value of Redoubt could be lower. The other option is when your Shield of the Righteous expires, gain 307 block and deal a bunch of holy damage to all attackers for 4 seconds. So it's like a mini Shield of the Righteous after Shield of the Righteous. Okay, with extra damage dealt to enemies. There's the big question here of what the holy power generation is going to look like. Without that question answered, it's really hard to choose here, but let's just go with what's going to do more damage here. Now, Redoubt gives you the extra strength, so that would be hard to match. It's 6% extra main stat, that is huge. But let's just give it the benefit of the doubt and see that, or rather say that keeping up Redoubt maxed out at 3 is not feasible. Let's just assume that for some reason, and let's go with this. Every 3 Shields of Righteous, you make your next Word of Glory free. This is already a staple. You kind of want to have that as well always. It went down from 4 to 3 as well, I think. I think you used to already have that at 4. Every 4 you get a free one. And now they put it down to 3. It is 5 actually. So now it's every 3 instead of 5. So that's way more often. So the same thing, their idea is you're going to be using less Shield of the Righteous. Therefore, things like this are just going to be able to be used more often. Consecration lasts 1 second longer and its damage is increased by 15%. Oh, this is one of the data mined things that they found on... Okay, so this was already data mined a while ago. I thought this might be on the Holy Tree, but it makes sense that it's here. Now, there is one consecration damage increased by 10% here. However, it's only one stat, or one point. I thought it was going to be more, but yeah. So there is 15% and 1 second longer here. You probably pick this always for Mythic Plus. Grand Crusader, when you avoid a melee attack or use Hammer of the Righteous, you have a 50% chance to reset the cooldown of your Avengers Shield. It doesn't give holy power, so the value of this has gone down, but for the sake of damage, you could assume that this is very strong, and you're always going to be using it. You, of course, need Ardent Defender. Judgment Axe has 2 charges, and Grand Crusader also grants a charge of Judgment. More holy power generation. Probably not something you can get away without picking. I don't know. Not too sure. Grand Crusader's chance is increased by 20%, and it grants you 94 strength. I mean, it doesn't give holy power, so it's just damage. It is just damage, as well as now the strength. So this one is questionable at this point. That one's questionable. Now, we need more points to keep going lower. We need one more, so you would, of course, pick something like Bless Hammer if you're going for AoE Mythic Plus, I believe. Spirals around dealing some damage and reducing the next damage they deal with. So this is the good old Blessed Hammer, nothing new here. 3 charges versus Hammer of the Righteous. Deal some damage. Causes a wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards for a bunch of damage while you're standing in consecration. Oh, so... Oh. That's not a thing right now, is it? That's not a thing. No, that's not a thing. No, it is. It is. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb. I've never even noticed. It is already baked into it. So, okay, so it's either a bit more of an offensive option versus a bit more of a defensive option. I hate Blessed Hammer, honestly. I hate it. Once they switched, like before this was a thing in Warlords of Draenor, when they introduced it on the pre-patch for Legion, I think it was, I hated it so much. I straight up quit playing Prot. I used to be a main Prot Paladin in Warlords of Draenor, and I straight up just quit because I hated this so much. But I was not playing at all at the level that I am right now, so I just decided that I didn't like the abilities, so it just didn't feel satisfactory to use it, and therefore I quit it straight away. Anyways, let's say you pick this for damage. Let's say you pick Hammer of the Righteous. Holy Shield, oh yes, you pick that for sure. Your consecration is 50% larger. Reduced movement speed. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe you do for kiting, depends. Avengers Shield also shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing 50% as much damage as it dealt. Oh, there we go. So there's the defensive aspect of Avengers Shield. You would probably go with that then. You would probably go with that. And 100% of the damage dealt is now Absorb Shield, so that is a huge amount of Absorb you end up having over like a Mythic Plus run. Next 3 Shields of the Righteous or Wars of Glory cost no holy power. You never really use this shit. This is actually a talent that's been so bad. It's only 3 on a 2-minute cooldown. So it's like 9 holy power every 2 minutes. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Like, it's better than the red options for holy power generation, actually. It's better than both of those options. Like Resonance or Liadrin's Fury, and the other inner, whatever that was called. Hand of the Protector, Water Glory, healing is increased by the target's missing health. Yes. You probably pick this always if you want to be off healing. Otherwise, not really, but if you want to be off healing, you will pick that. I think you pass on that, but this might not be something you pass on. I don't really know. It depends on the uptime of Shield of the Righteous. I think you never picked this because it didn't make any sense. Like, what is it right now? Where is it? Now that I think about it. Has it not been big here? It's been a thing before. Is it a PvP talent nowadays? I'm sure I saw it at some point, but... yeah. Might be a conduit. I don't know. I haven't played too much Prot. Either way, this has already existed before and it wasn't really picked. It might be a PvP talent. I don't know. Let's go with this. Water Glory heals an additional 500% holy power over 15 seconds. Oh my god, that's a lot of healing. What the fuck? Wait, well, it can go all the way up to... wait, well, hold up. Oh, it doesn't change. Okay, so it's probably like 250 and then 500. That is really defensive. You probably pick this, honestly. That's a lot of healing on you for a long time. That's a lot of healing. How often does this stick? Jesus. Your Lean Hand, Divine Shield, and Blessing of Spell Warding have 200% reduced cooldown. I mean, do you need them more often? It's like Leon Hand's Bubble or Spell Warding. You probably don't need this that much, but depending on the fight, it seems like more of a rating thing. Is it like Bubble Taunt still a thing? It's probably still a thing, right? Relentless Inquisitor, every spending holy power grants you haste. Yeah, you will always want that. More haste as a paladin is insanely good, as Prot Paladin as well. This is the extra critical strike stuff. Okay, fuck this, man. So they moved away the critical strike component of things away from wings onto this thing, and you have to like pick it up. You had to pick it up as red, you also have to pick it up as Prot. I'm assuming you also have to pick it up as holy. And what you're giving up is Sentinel, gain 15 stacks of Divine Resolve, increasing your maximum health by 2% and reducing your damage taken by 2% per stack for until cancelled. After 5 seconds, you will begin to lose 1 stack per second. Each 3 holy power spent will delay the loss of your next stack by 1 second. Combines with Avenging Wrath. So whenever you pop wings, that's when you gain the 15 stacks. After 5 seconds, you start losing them. You gain more health and you gain reduced damage taken. That's 30% reduced damage taken and 30% increased health on a 2-minute cooldown, and you can extend that with more holy power spending. That is a lot of defenses. Like that's very defensive right there. The other option is to just have more critical strike, right? Yeah, it's just that. It's just also grants. Oh, hold up. So this will not only hold up. Am I reading this right? So you will always get 20% increased damage and healing from Avenging Wrath, but with Avenging Wrath's might, if Avenging Wrath is known, also grants 20% increased damage. Okay, well, it will just combine into the same spell, so you will have 20% increased damage from Avenging Wrath on top of the increased critical strike. It won't be 40% increased damage, that's what I'm thinking. But what about the 20% increased healing? Why is that not specified? So is it 40% increased damage? It seems like it's 40. I might be reading this wrong, but if it's only 20% increased damage, because it replaces Avenging Wrath straight away, then what about the healing? Otherwise, it's just like 40% increased damage instead of 20, which is fucking nuts. You want that for sure. But it's like Giga Aggro or Giga Defensive. This looks like a very good talent like choice here. A lot of defensives or a lot of aggro. Let's say you go with a lot of aggro for Mythic Plus. Why not? While in your consecration, your Shield of Righteous and Word of Glory have 10% increased damage and healing. Okay, more damage. It goes all the way to 20. Sure. Guardian of the Ancient Kings, 100% you pick that. What about this two? Consecration damage taken is reduced by an additional 2.5%. Now, we only have 2 points to spend before we go into the lower part, so we gotta really think about this. When you use Avengers Shield, your block chances increase by 10% for 5 seconds. So even more Avengers Shield, combining a little bit more with Inspiring Vanguard. I mean, this is 5% increased defensiveness, or just reduced damage taken, versus 20% more block chance. So this is something you can control 100%. This is something you can semi-control, but you're depending on procs almost. And this side of the tree we still haven't even looked at. We know that every holy power you spend reduces the cooldown of Ardent Defender or Divine Shield. You kind of want this as well, right? You rely so much on Ardent Defender. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff here. I really don't know how much you need the defensiveness on some things. I don't play Protection Paladin, so it just looks like everything's so juicy. What about this? Your Avengers Shield is imbued with Holy Fire, causing it to deal a bunch of damage to all targets or enemies within 5 yards of its target hit. Oh, this is the power that yeah, this was already data mined. So this is more AoE damage. Significantly more AoE damage. Would have to see how much more damage is, but it's only 7.7 attack power. We'll see. I don't know, might not be too great, but that would be more damage. You would have to pick these though, which I do think you would want to pick if you want to be an off-healer, which you usually are as a Protection Paladin. Avengers Shield deal 50% increased damage to its primary targets. It's single target versus AoE. It seems like Avengers Shield, even though it doesn't give holy power, has a whole side of the tree for itself almost. What about this? Avengers Shield jumps 2 additional targets, more AoE, and more shield as well. Or Avengers Shield deals 200% increased damage, but only strikes 1 target. Oof. Ooh, a lot of banking on Avengers Shield, really. More targets means that you would gain more benefit out of... What was it? The thing that gives you the shield based on the damage you do. Yeah, here. Bulwark of Order. So does this work with the bounce targets or only the primary? Because it works with the bounce. It's based on, do you have more than 1 target? Yes, then you probably would pick Soaring Shield. Otherwise, you would pick the other one. But let's see, there's still a lot of stuff to go through. Crusaders resolve enemies hit by Avengers Shield, deal 5% reduced damage to you for 5 seconds, stacking up for 10 seconds, stacking up 3 times. So it would be just, wait, it's two stacks, so it's 30% reduced damage taken from this. You would take 30% reduced damage taken from all enemies that you hit consistently with this. So that's a lot of reduced damage taken. Both single target and AoE. Bulwark of the Righteous Fury. Avengers Shield increases the damage of your next Shield of the Righteous by 30% for each target hit by Avengers Shield, stacking up to 5 times and increasing its radius by 6 yards. So this is like a legendary, right? Isn't it? I think it is. So you would get a 150% increased damage on the next Shield of the Righteous. More AoE damage. Doesn't provide any defensiveness. Moment of Glory. For the next 15 seconds, Avengers Shield's damage is increased by 20%. It generates an Absorb Shield for an additional 50% of the damage dealt, and its cooldown is reduced by 15%. So a lot of Shield of the Righteous, man. Holy shit. Or rather, Avengers Shield. This whole side of the tree is just Avengers Shield does more things. Yeah. Like, it does more damage. It gives you more Absorb based on the damage dealt, and you have it more often. So it's a good... It's just a good defensive cooldown versus a very offensive option. Very defensive trait. AoE versus single target Avenger Shield. AoE damage versus single target damage. Yeah, it just seems like this whole side is just Avenger Shield. And you can make it proc more with this as well, so... Yeah, holy shit. Okay, so it's like Avenger Shield, either damage or defensives. This is just your core stuff. Shield of Righteous grants 2% additional armor. You want that. During Divine Shield, all targets. This is Babble Taunt. Each enemy hit by Avenger Shield uses the remaining cooldown of Guardian of the Ancient Kings. You want that. By probably 1 second instead of 0.5. And then each Holy Power spent reduces the remaining cooldown of Avenging Wrath and Guardian of the Ancient Kings by a lot. So more wings. And more big defensiveness. That's a lot of points though already. And Eye of Tyr. Blinding Light, or rather release a blinding flash from Truth Guard. Hold the damage to all nearby enemies, reducing the damage they deal to you by 25% for 9 seconds every 1 minute. So it has a high uptime as well. It has a pretty high uptime. Would do a lot... it's not a lot of damage actually, but that's a pretty defensive option. There's a lot of good stuff right here actually. Like the actual increased block versus the 5% reduced damage taken while in Consecration. I assumed your Mastery still does what it does, so that's just even more value of Mastery sort of. Casting Word of Glory grants you an additional block chance. It says 0%, so that's toast, but more defensiveness. Divine Toll, so more Holy Power and damage. You don't get Holy Power from Avengers Shield anymore, so this is just for the sake of damage as well as like initiating a pack, but I don't see how you make do without Divine Toll in like, Mythic Plus. It's so good. As well as if you like really bank on Avengers Shield powers, Divine Toll is just like an oh shit button, as well as like a do more damage button, as well as like it can be many things. So Divine Toll, I don't see how you would not pick this, but you would have to give up on so many good things. Improve Seraphine and Divine Toll. Cooldown of Seraphine is reduced by 5 seconds and Divine Toll by 15 seconds. Oh my god. Shit. It's either that or Resonance? Why would you pick Resonance? How is that even a question? So you would always pick Improves Divine Toll. You would also pick Divine Toll. Okay, let's reset this. Hold up. Let's go for like a Giga Avenger Shield build. Okay, let's say you would go... You'd probably go with Hammer of the Righteous. You would have to pick this for sure. You would go with Grand Crusader for having your Avenger Shield proc, so you got it back. Increase the chance of that happening. So you get more judgments. You can make do without that. Let's just assume you can make do without that. Now we need 2 more points. So let's say we don't want that. But Consecration being bigger is huge. Like, it's actually so good. And let's say you want to stack more strength for the sake of damage, okay? So you're passing out on the free heal. That's kind of nuts, but okay. But Word of Glory would heal you over time, so maybe the free heal... That's just 1 point. Let's say you pick it up. It's 1 point. You kind of want that so much. Increased damage of Consecration. You probably want that as well, man. Like, there's so many things. But let's say you don't care about Consecration. You're going to be going full Avengers Shield. Okay, so you pick Relentless Inquisitor, more haste, very strong. Avengers Shield, block chance increased. You always have that up almost. Avengers Shield of Righteous and Word of Glory increase damage and healing. You don't care about that. Let's say you don't. This one we didn't know about, but we gotta pick something. We 100% pick something there. So let's just assume it's that. The healing absorb, or rather the damage absorb. Reducing the cooldown of, yeah, you want to pick that and get there and get that. I mean, this one reduces both the cooldown of Avenging Wrath and Guardian of the Ancient Kings, whereas this one reduces the one of only Guardian of the Ancient Kings. So you would pick this one over that one, then go with that with defensive for defensiveness options. Then you could go with the Word of Glory, extra block chance, Divine Toll, and improve Seraphine and Divine Toll. So more Divine Tolls, which means more Avenger Shields. We are already at 28 though. Oh my god, okay, well that's impossible. So we didn't even get to go down into this side where that's like the juice for Avenger Shield is. Wow, it seems like there's so many options. This is actually... I think there's many more options here than on the Retribution one, actually. But it all depends, because of course here you are always thinking about more defensiveness versus more damage, whereas Retribution you're just going for more damage. And the only thing you're really thinking about is more AoE versus more single target. Here there's a lot of options, man. Holy. Yeah, I don't even know. Jeez. So you would give up so many things here for the extra damage. The extra targets, which probably would be very strong, you would want that. So you would pick this, you would go for that, but then you were giving up something else. What could you give up here? If you wanted to go at least until here for the extra target jumps. Otherwise, it only jumps to 2 targets. You want to make it 5. Okay, let's say you make it 5 for Mythic Plus. And then you would also go for this, because this is such a good survivability cooldown. So let's say you give up on this. You would still need to pick that up and you wouldn't get there. And how can you even give up on anything? Like the free Shield of the Righteous? I don't know. There's so many options here, I don't know. Alright. So, then you could pick that. Extra bounces. This one is 2 points though, and we don't have any more points. You can't give up on Redoubt, because otherwise, yeah, you lose the entire tree. Can't you undo? No, you can't undo. Okay, well, yeah, it just seems like it's very tight. There's many trade-offs to be taken, which is what makes a good tree a good tree. So, I think the prod one looks sick. The red one... Now, looking at this one, I think the red one looks way more simple. Doesn't look as attractive, but yeah. Good stuff though.